It is 1984 on the island of Madeira, Portugal. A woman named Dolores walks into a doctor's office. She is exhausted. She already has 3 children at home. Her husband drinks. The rent is barely paid. The roof of their house is made of tin. When it rains, everyone can hear it. She sits down across from the doctor. She tells him she is pregnant again. She tells him she cannot have this baby. She asks him to end the pregnancy. The doctor looks at her. He listens. He considers what she is asking. Then, he says no. He refuses. Dolores walks home. 9 months later, on February 5th, 1985, she gives birth to a boy. She names him Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro. In 2020, that boy became the first active footballer in history to earn $1 billion playing football. Forbes confirmed the number, $1 billion. From a pregnancy his mother tried to terminate. From a tin-roofed house on an island most of the world had never heard of. From a father who drank himself to death before he could watch his son lift a single trophy. This is not a story about football. This is a story about the distance between where you start and where you end up. And nobody in the history of sport has ever covered that distance faster or further than Cristiano Ronaldo. Madeira is a small volcanic island in the Atlantic Ocean, closer to Africa than to mainland Portugal. Population 250,000. Economy built on tourism and banana plantations. For a working-class family in Funchal in the 1980s, the horizon was very narrow. José Diniz Aveiro, Ronaldo's father, worked as a municipal gardener. He also drank, not occasionally, chronically. In the way that drinking becomes the organizing principle of a life and everything else arranges itself around it. Dolores cleaned houses. She managed 4 children on what money remained after the drinking took its share. When she walked into that doctor's office, it was not weakness. It was the arithmetic of a woman who understood exactly what her life looked like. The doctor said no. The boy was born, and from the moment he could run, he had a ball at his feet. Ronaldo's earliest memory of football is not a stadium. It is a street. He was obsessed from the beginning. His family could not separate him from a ball. He stayed outside until Dolores came to physically bring him in for dinner. At 8 years old, he joined Nacional, a club in Funchal. At 10, scouts from Sporting Lisbon arrived on the island for a tournament. They watched 1 training session. 1. That was enough. Sporting offered him a place in their academy in Lisbon immediately. There was one problem. Lisbon is 1,000 kilometers from Madeira. It is the mainland, a place where a Madeiran accent marked you immediately as an outsider. Provincial, not from here. Ronaldo was 10 years old. He would have to go alone. The morning he left, his mother cried at the airport. He called her every night from Lisbon. She told him to stay. He stayed, and he channeled everything. The homesickness, the mockery, the memory of the tin roof, directly into training. He stayed after sessions ended. He practiced the same movements until they were automatic. He asked questions other boys did not think to ask. By 14, every coach at Sporting Lisbon knew his name. At 15, Ronaldo was diagnosed with tachycardia, a racing heart condition that caused dangerous, irregular rhythms during physical exertion. For a professional footballer, it was a potential career-ending diagnosis. The doctors were clear. He needed surgery, a laser procedure to cauterize the tissue causing the problem. If it worked, he could play. If it did not, it was over. He was 15 years old. He had already left his family, already survived the mockery, already built something at Sporting that could be taken from him by a surgeon's mistake. He had the operation. He rested for a few days. Then he went straight back to training. No extended recovery, no doubt, no adjustment period. Just work. On October 7th, 2002, Cristiano Ronaldo made his professional debut for Sporting Lisbon at 17 years old. Within minutes, it was obvious he was different. Not just good, different in the way that pace, balance, and relationship with the ball can look categorically unlike what surrounds it. In August 2003, Manchester United traveled to Lisbon for a preseason friendly. What happened that afternoon is one of the most retold stories in Premier League history. Ronaldo destroyed United United's defenders for 90 minutes. At halftime, the United players walked into the dressing room and made a request that players almost never make. They asked Sir Alex Ferguson to sign the boy they were playing against. Multiple experienced internationals told their manager that if he did not sign this 17-year-old, someone else would, and they would all regret it. Ferguson did not need convincing. Manchester United signed Cristiano Ronaldo for £12.24 million. He was 18 years old, 8 years from the tin-roofed house, 8 years from his mother's tears at the airport, 8 years from the heart surgery, 8 years from the boy who nobody on the mainland wanted to stop mocking, Old Trafford. While Ronaldo was becoming the best player in England, his father was dying. The drinking had never stopped. Throughout everything, the move to Lisbon, the move to Manchester, the first league titles, José Diniz continued drinking. It was the one constant in an otherwise transformed world. In 2005, he was admitted to a clinic in London for liver and kidney failure caused by decades of alcohol abuse. Ronaldo visited. He sat with his father. His father told him he was proud. He told him he loved him. He died in September 2005. He was 52 years old. He never saw the Champions League, never saw the Ballon d'Or, never saw Portugal win the European Championship, never saw the $1 billion. He never saw any of it. Ronaldo has never had a tattoo, not for superstition, because he donates blood 4 times a year and tattoos require a waiting period. In a family where one man drank himself to death, another decided what he would do with his body was give. Quick pause here. If you're watching this and thinking, wow, I want to make videos exactly like this, then I have something for you. I created this entire video using free AI tools in just 4 to 5 hours. No team, no expensive software, no camera, just a system I built myself. The same system behind my channel that got 2.9 million views and made $31,000 from one single video. I've put everything inside one complete course. Every tool, every prompt, every single step. Link is in the description. It's $100 right now. Launch price. Go grab it and start your first video today. In 2020, Forbes calculated Cristiano Ronaldo's total career earnings across salaries, bonuses, endorsements, image rights, and commercial deals. The number crossed $1 billion, the first active footballer in history to reach it. The figure was conservative. The real number was likely higher. Nike had signed him to a lifetime deal worth over $1 billion on its own. He owned hotels under the CR7 brand, a clothing line, a hair care range, a fragrance, equity stakes across multiple industries, 650 million Instagram followers, more than any human being on the platform. He was not a footballer who became a businessman. He was a brand that played football. The boy from the tin roof had understood something most athletes never do. Your name is worth more than your salary. Your name, built correctly, pays you after the career ends. His father's name paid nobody anything. His name is on hotels. Dolores Aveiro is 69 years old. She is internationally famous now, not as a celebrity, as a mother. She has talked publicly about the doctor's office, about asking for the termination, about being refused, about walking home not knowing what would come next. When journalists ask how she feels about that morning, her answer is always the same. She says, God had a plan. Whether you believe that or not, the arithmetic is undeniable. One refusal, one doctor, one morning in Funchal in 1984. The difference between that morning going differently and a world that never contained Cristiano Ronaldo. No 900 goals, no 5 Ballon d'Or awards, no Champions League titles across 3 different countries, no $1 billion, no records that stand today and will likely stand for another generation. Just a family that would have been slightly less stretched and a world that would never have known what it was missing. Here is what Ronaldo's story is really about. Not the goals, not the trophies, not the money. It is about what a person does with the distance between where they start and where they decide to go. He started in a house with a tin roof on an island most of the world had never heard of, with a mother who did not know if she could afford to keep him, and a father who would not live to see any of it. He ended up the first $1 billion billion footballer in history. The doctor said no in 1984, and the rest of it, every goal, every title, every zero in that number is what one person built from that single refusal.